you're a gamer who plays at least once a week, if you keep a track of what's releasing on PC in coming months, then you have definitely heard of Witcher 3. And chances are you've heard it called the best game ever made. Now here's where things gets interesting. There are three types of people in this gaming world. The first, they fell in love with Witcher 3 back in 2015 and never looked back. The second, they bounced off it at first, walked away, but came back years later and suddenly everything clicked. They fell hard. And then there's the third type, the one who still don't like it. And well, if that's you, I'm not sure if we can be friends. Moving on. I was the second guy. And this is the story of how a game I once rejected became the reason I still fire up my PC in 2026. Over 200 hours deep into my second playthrough and still hungry for more. Let me take you back where it all started. Growing up, I heard everyone raving about Witcher 2. It was everywhere, so naturally I had to try it. But here's the thing, I jumped straight into Witcher 2 without even touching the first game. Big mistake. I didn't like it at all. The cinematic moments didn't grab me, the combat felt dull and sluggish, I couldn't wrap my head around the science, the story didn't click, and honestly, after 2 hours, I was actively looking for things to hate. I convinced myself that RPGs just weren't for me. I told myself I should stick to what I knew. Assassin's Creed, which was my favorite at that time. I wanted action, I wanted fluidity, I wanted something familiar. So I walked away. I wrote off an entire genre. Then came Witcher 3, 2015. The hype was massive. People were obsessed. But I heard there were performance issues at launch. Typical CDPR, right? Plus, I didn't even have my own PC back then. I was borrowing my brother's laptop, busy playing Assassin's Creed, Black Flag and Rogue. I couldn't even run Unity or anything demanding. So I stuck to what I could play. Assassin's Creed, Batman Arkham games, Tomb Raider, Shadow of Mordor. There was a whole backlog of games I wanted to experience but couldn't. Fast forward to 2016 through 2023, I finally got my own PC. I started chipping away at the backlog, Unity, Syndicate, Arkham Knight, all the popular titles everyone was talking about. During that time, I remember buying Witcher 3 Complete Edition or the Game of the Year Edition for dirt cheap. I think it was around 200 or 300 rupees. I got to know it won Game of the Year, but I still didn't play it. Then I heard the news, the next gen update was coming. Enhanced graphics, better performance, the works. And I made a decision that would change everything. I decided to wait. When the next gen update finally dropped, I had nothing else to play. So I downloaded it immediately, no expectations, no hype, just curiosity. And from the very first hour, I was hooked. The story, the details, the realism in every character's face, the way the world breathed, it all just clicked. The graphics were stunning, yes, but it was more than that. Every single side mission felt like it mattered, like it was a main quest in its own right. This time I came in with an open mind, and ironically, I had some RPG experience under my belt, thanks to Ubisoft's questionable decision to turn Assassin's Creed into an RPG. Origin, which I loved, Odyssey, which was okay, and Valhalla, let's not even go there. But after playing those bloated copy-paste RPGs, coming to Witcher 3, the game they tried to copy, felt like stepping into a completely different world. It was like tasting real food after living on instant noodles, if you know what I mean. I spent hours upon hours in this game, clearing main quests, side quests, hunting down every single question mark on the map. Well, to be honest, only for the first region. I'll come back to that later. And here's the crazy part. It was fun, just riding around, exploring the question marks, discovering hidden stories, forgotten treasures, monster lairs. It was genuinely enjoyable. Compare that to Ubisoft's open world, where clearing icons feels like a chore, a second job. But in Witcher 3, it felt like adventure. There's something magical about this game. Most games hook you at first, but slowly, after 20 or 30 hours, you start losing interest. You get tired, you move on. But Witcher 3, one day I looked at my playtime and realized I had hit 100 hours. and I still had the urge to boot it up the moment I closed it. That never happened to me. After a few more hours, I finished the main story, but I still had tons of side quests and question marks left. I told myself I'd come back to them later. Then I started the DLCs. Heart of Stone hit me like a cargo train. It's a short DLC, but it's so meticulously crafted. You see side quests that tie into the main DLC storyline, NPCs talk about what's happening, the world reacts to your actions. Coming from other games, that felt really good. I'll be honest, on my first playthrough, I focused mostly on the main quest. I had this burning need to know what happened next. But looking back, I realized that's not the right way to play Witcher 3. You miss so much. You learn things about side quests that add depth to your main story. You unlock new dialogue options. You understand the world better. And then came Blood and Wine. Oh my god. This isn't a DLC. This is a full game on its own. When I was writing the script, I smiled just thinking about my journey through Tucson. The vibrant colors, the rich story, the characters that make you care within minutes. You genuinely start worrying about NPCs. You see someone getting harassed on the road, you immediately step in to help, not because the game told you to, but because you want to. I won't spoil anything here. Either you already know or you don't want to know. That's why I'm not showing any late game footage. I want you to experience it yourself. Trust me, for a 2015 game, it still feels fresh. It still feels alive. Now I'm on my second playthrough. Rookie numbers, I know, but this time I'm clearing everything. Every side quest, every question mark, every contract. I'm over 200 hours in, and one night, lying in bed, I asked myself, why? Why does this game still live on my PC? Why does it pull me back in 2026? Why am I still excited to play a game that's already a decade old? And that's when it hit me. Why Witcher 3 still calls me back in 2026. In any game, there are things that can make it or break it. For me, the story is everything. And the pacing keeps me from getting bored. I won't spoil anything as I said earlier, but I will tell you this. The story is deceptively simple. It starts with a search, and for the most of the game, it stays a search. Geralt is looking for Ciri. She is dealing with her own problems. He hasn't seen her in years, but he is not the only one searching. The Wild Hunt is after her too. Now, who is Wild Hunt?
What happened here?
Death descended. I felt its icy breath. Frost gripped the air itself. Ice clenched each heart. The village froze like in the heart of winter. If you'd have heard the cries, sir, if you'd have heard how a man can scream.
Witcher, I was hoping you'd come.
You saw what happened. Only you and I truly know what all of us will soon face.
The Wild Hunt will know I found her when I do. They'll attack. Well, I'm not about to give in. We all knew what we were signing up for. Elder blood flows in Ciri's veins, which is why the Wild Hunt wants to capture her.
Geralt, have some dignity. You know how this will end.
To common folk, the Wild Hunt is a ghostly army of skeletal riders that gallop across the night sky during winter storms. They are an omen of war, death, and disaster. If you see them, you're either already dead or about to be dragged into their spectral ranks. But in reality, they are not ghosts. They are an elite military unit of elves called the An-El or Elder Folk from another dimension. They use magic and skeletal armor to appear as terrifying wraiths. Their true name is Derg Ruadri, the Red Riders. Sorry for butchering the names. Their mission, led by King Erden, they're hunting Ciri because their world is dying. A magical ice age called the White Frost is consuming everything. They believe Sirius Elder Blood is the only power strong enough to open a world large enough to move their entire civilization to the continent and conquer it. The story takes you through emotional highs and crushing lows. It keeps you guessing, it keeps you invested, and yes, there are multiple endings, but there's also a canon ending which carries into Witcher 4. What makes it work is how the game lets you spend time with characters. You don't just meet them and move on. You live alongside them, you help them, you argue with them, you laugh with them, and when something happens to them, good or bad, you feel it. That's storytelling. In any open world game, side quests are the glue that holds the experience together. And in most RPGs, they follow the same formula. Go to point A, talk to someone, go to point B, kill something or collect something, return to point A, collect reward. Witcher 3 follows the same blueprint too. But here's the difference. It never feels the same. Take the Witcher contracts. For example, you learn about a beast, you talk to the victim or a witness, you track it down, you kill it. Simple, right? But every single contract tells a different story. Some are straightforward monster hunts, some are tragic, some are darkly funny, and every time you're just wondering, what happened here? How can I help? What kind of beast is this? And the best part, the process is always different. One contract, the victim tells you exactly what attacked them, you track blood to their lair, done. Another contract, the guard don't know what it is. You talk to the survivors who's traumatized and can't describe it, you use some signs to calm them down, and then you know a bit more about the monster. So you brew a potion to lure the beast out. The structure is the same, but the story makes it feel completely new. And then there are side quests that feel bigger than the main story itself. Let me tell you one. Picture this. A lonely, crumbling stone tower sitting in the middle of a dark, misty lake. This is Faikal. For years, locals have whispered that it's cursed. They hear the sound of scratching claws, a woman's weeping in the night. During a brutal war, a wealthy lord and his daughter Annabelle fled to the tower to hide. They had food, the people on the mainland were starving. Driven by hunger and rage, a mob of peasants rode to the island armed with pitchforks and torches. As the mob stormed the tower, killing everyone inside, the family mage gave Annabelle a potion. "Drink this," he whispered. "It will make you appear dead. They'll leave you alone. You'll wake up once it's safe." She drank it. She collapsed. The peasants found her body, thought she was dead and left. But the potion didn't just make her look dead. It paralyzed her completely. She was awake, conscious, but she couldn't move, couldn't scream, couldn't blink. Then she heard it. A soft, wet scratching, then another and another. Thousands of starving rats, drawn by the smell of the food and the dead bodies, crawled into her room. She felt every bite, every tear of flesh, every gnaw of bone. She couldn't do anything but lie there and endure it. Now, her spirit haunts that tower. She is no longer a girl. She is a plague maiden, a rotting, vengeful creature made of disease and flies. She tells you she just wants to be buried. She tells you she wants her lover to apologize for abandoning her. But if you believe her, if you carry her bones past the water's edge, you're not saving a soul. You're releasing a plague. Now that's the bad ending to the story. The good or less evil ending involves Graham, the lover, to the island so he can kiss her, which breaks the curse and puts her to rest, though Graham still dies in the process. Actually, Graham dies in both the ending, but yeah, that's a side quest. One of many. Every single one has a story that stays with you. When you enter a new region, you'll see billboards. Notices posted by locals about strange things happening nearby. Bandit camps, monster lairs, hidden treasures. These show up as question marks on your map. In my first playthrough, I ignored most of them. I figured they were just filler content, like in every other open world game. But in my second playthrough, I'm clearing every single one. And you know what? It's the most fun I've had. You ride through countryside on roach, you stumble upon monstrous lairs and clear it out, making the area safe for travelers. You find a treasure map and follow cryptic clues to buried loot. You discover places of power, ancient stone circles that grants you ability points, and temporarily boost your science. And while you are doing all of this, you get rich, filthy rich. You find amazing gear. If it's good, you keep it. If not, you sell it to a craftsman and upgrade your equipment. It never feels like busy work. It feels like exploration, like you are actually living in this world. An open world isn't just about how beautiful it looks. It's about the people, the NPCs, the sense that life exists beyond your character. In Witcher 3, the world doesn't wait for you. People are busy, they have routines, they argue, they trade, they laugh, they mourn, and see guards burning someone at the stake. There's no quest marker, no objective. But if you intervene, you save them. They thank you. There's a cutscene. It matters. You see monsters blocking roads, animals hunting prey, bandit ambushing travelers, griffins circling overhead. The world feels alive. Novigrad is one of the best designed cities in gaming. It's massive, it's dense, and it feels like a real medieval city. You walk through narrow alleyways crowded with beggars, merchants, and street preachers. You hear conversations between NPCs, arguments about politics, gossip about the war, rumor about magic. You see guards patrolling, checking papers, harassing non-humans. There are multiple districts, each with its own flavor. The wealthy districts with its clean streets and grand estates, the slums with poverty and desperation, the docks with smugglers and sailors, the red light district with its own seedy underworld, and Skellige. The islands are completely different, harsh, windswept, beautiful. The people are warriors and sailors, fiercely proud of their traditions. You'll see villagers gathering for feasts, singing sea shanties, honoring their dead with Viking-style funerals. Every region has its own culture, its own atmosphere, its own identity, and that's what keeps pulling me back. Many RPGs have mini games. Valhalla had something. I don't even remember what it was. It was that bad. But Witcher 3 has Gwent, and oh my god, I got addicted. There were entire gaming sessions where I logged in just to play Gwent. I'm not exaggerating. I'd spent hours hunting down the best players, challenging them, winning unique cards. I'd walk into a shop to sell something, and the merchant would ask, "Care for a round of Gwent?" And I'd forget everything, why I even came here. I'd just sit down and play. The reward usually just 20 crowns and a basic card. If you're lucky, maybe you'll find a unique card as well. But the feeling, priceless. Let me explain how it works, because once you understand it, you'll see why it's so addictive. You have 3 rows: melee, ranged, and siege. Each row has a corresponding boost slot. You play cards to build up your total points. Highest score wins the round. Win 2 rounds, you win the match. But here's where strategy comes in. There are hero cards. These are the strongest units, immune to special effects. But if you only have a few, you have to decide when to play them. Do you use them early to dominate the first round, or save them for later? Then you have special cards, weather cards that weaken entire rows, scorch cards that destroy the highest value units on the board, decoy cards that let you retrieve a unit and play it again. Then we have spy cards. These are brilliant. You play a spy on your opponent's side, they get the points, but you draw 2 extra cards. This is a huge advantage because card advantage often wins games. Then you have medic cards. These let you resurrect fallen units from your discard pile. Imagine this is your second round, and in your first round, they have used a spy card on you, meaning the spy card is on your side. And once the round ends, the spy card goes to your discard pile. And let's say in your round 2, you have 1 medic card and 1 decoy card. So what I would do is, I would use first the medic card, use the spy card which is there in my discard pile, so it will go there. And then I'll use a decoy card, take the medic back, and then I'll use the medic again, and then I'll get some other card from the discard pile. Think about it. There are so many strategies like this. Then we have some tight bond and morale boost cards. Some cards double their value when played together. Others boost entire rows. The combos are insane. There's an entire side quest line where you travel across the world challenging the best Gwent players in the land. You collect unique cards, build your deck, and eventually enter a high-stakes tournament. It's ridiculous. It's a card game mini quest in an RPG. and it's one of the most fun things I've ever had in a video game. I've spent more time playing Gwent than I have playing some full price games. It's that good. In fact, it got so popular that CDPR turned it into a standalone game. Gwent, the Witcher card game. That's how beloved it is. If you're playing Witcher 3 and you skip Gwent, you're missing out a lot. Trust me. Give it a real chance. Learn the rules. Experiment with decks. Challenge everyone you meet. You'll get hooked. I guarantee it. I told my brother once, this isn't just a game, it's a Witcher simulator. At the time, I wasn't even touching the main quest, I was just existing in the world, taking contracts, helping villagers, hunting monsters, getting paid. My goal was simple, live as a Witcher, talk to someone, take a contract, complete it, collect the reward, move on. And even though on paper that sounds repetitive, it's not. Every contract is different. Every monster has a unique story behind it. Every victim has a reason for what happened. The key is to play it properly. Don't just charge in blindly. Open your bestiary. Learn about the monster you're hunting. Study its weakness, then prepare accordingly. Craft the right blade oil, brew the right potions, equip the right signs. When you approach a hunt like an actual Witcher, the gameplay transforms. It becomes immersive, tactical, satisfying. You're not just playing a game, you're living a profession. This is why Witcher 3 shines as a simulator. The preparation is just as important as the fight itself. Let's say you have a contract to hunt a griffin. You open your bestiary and read about griffins. You learn they are weak to hybrid oil. You learn they are vulnerable to art sign which can knock them out of the sky. You learn they are resistant to most magic. So you prepare, you craft hybrid oil and apply it to your silver sword. You brew a thunderbolt potion to increase your attack damage. You equip the gravestone bomb to deal area damage when it's grounded. And then the fight begins. This isn't button mashing, this is hunting. This is what being a Witcher actually means. The combat in Witcher 3 isn't flashiest, it's not Devil May Cry, it's not Bayonetta, but when you approach it with preparation, with knowledge, with strategy, it became so satisfying. You dodge at the last second, you counter-attack, you wait for the opening, you use art sign to knock the griffin out of the sky, then follow up with a heavy attack while it's stunned. You roll away before it can retaliate. You're not just fighting, you're adapting, you're reacting, you're using the tools you prepared. And when you finally land the killing blow, when the beast collapses and you collect your trophy, you feel like you earned it. Some contracts are straightforward. Some have moral dilemmas. Some have twisted. Maybe the monster isn't a monster at all. Maybe it's a person. Maybe it's a curse that can be lifted. Maybe killing it would be the wrong choice. The game makes you think. It makes you be a Witcher. Throughout the game, you'll have opportunities for romance. Some are brief flings, a fun night, a moment of connection, and then you move on. But there are two main love interests that the story really focuses on: Triss Marigold and Yennefer of Vengerberg. By the end, you have to choose one, or well, let's not get into that just yet. This is one of the most hotly debated topics in the Witcher community. Team Triss versus Team Yennefer. It's like asking someone if you prefer coffee or tea. People have strong opinion. The book readers tend to lean towards Yennefer. In the books and the established lore, Geralt and Yennefer have a deep, complicated, destined connection. They've been through hell together, they have loved, fought, broken up, and come back to each other countless times. She's the mother figure to Ciri as well. She's Geralt's true equal, sharp, powerful, stubborn, and fiercely independent. But she's also harsh, sarcastic, cold at times. She doesn't soften herself for anyone, including Geralt. The relationship is passionate, but it's also volatile. Then there's Triss. In the games, especially Witcher 2 and 3, she's warm, caring, compassionate. She genuinely wants to help Geralt. She's sweet without being weak. She's kind without being naive. But, and this is a big but, if you know the lore, Triss has complicated history with Geralt. In the books, she took advantage of his amnesia. She slept with him knowing he was in love with Yennefer. She manipulated the situation. So book readers often hate her. But game-only players, they see her as the safer choice, the kinder option. I went with Yennefer for my first playthrough. I rejected every other romance option. I was loyal. I flirted with her every chance I got. I chose dialogue options that showed I cared. And honestly, I loved it. Yennefer is fascinating. She's prickly, yes. She's demanding, but beneath the exterior, there's a soft heart. There's pain. She was born with deformity. She was abused. She transformed herself into powerful sorceress, but she never felt truly whole. Her relationship with Geralt is built on years of history. There's a comfort there, a trust, a sense that they understand each other in ways no one else can. One of my favorite moments is when you're searching for Ciri together and there's a quiet scene where Yennefer opens up just for a second, no sarcasm, no walls, just honesty. It's beautiful. Now, in my second playthrough, I'm exploring the other path. I'm romancing Triss this time, just to see how it plays out. And I'll admit, it's nice. It's different. Triss is affectionate, supportive, genuinely happy to be with Geralt. There's a sweetness to it that's refreshing after the intensity of Yennefer's route. There's a particularly memorable quest where you help Triss escape Novigrad. The city is hunting mages and she's in danger. You disguise her, sneak her through city and protect her. At the end, you have a choice. Ask her to stay or let her go. If you ask her to stay, if you tell her you love her, it's genuinely a touching moment. Some people say that game Triss is different from book Triss. Maybe that's true. I haven't read the books yet, so I can only judge her based on what I see in the game. And in the game, she's a solid romance option. Oh, and word of warning. If you try to romance both Triss and Yennefer, if you tell them you love them, there's a scene waiting for you. I'm not gonna spoil that for you, but yeah. Honestly, there's no right choice. Both romances are well written, both have their own emotional beats and satisfying conclusions. Yennefer is for people who love complexity, who wants a relationship that feels earned and layered. Triss is for people who wants warmth, who want someone who makes Geralt smile without these sharp edges. Play it once with one, then try the other one on a second playthrough. Experience both sides of the story. That's the beauty of Witcher 3. It respects your choices. It lets you shape Geralt's story. One way to keep things fresh is through mods. Now there are crazy mods out there that completely break the immersion. Weird character models, ridiculously gameplay changes, stuff that just ruins the experience. I didn't go that route. I stuck to the accessibility mods, quality of life improvements. Things like being able to hold a torch while doing other actions, fast travel from anywhere. Though I use it sparingly because you miss out story elements if you fast travel too often. I'll make a separate video about the mods I use, but here's my advice. For your first playthrough, play it vanilla. Experience it raw. Halfway through, if you feel like you need to spice things up, add a few mods. That's what I did. I finished the main quest, started Hearts of Stone and added some accessibility mods and a transmog system so I could look cool. But honestly, if you do side quests and explore, you'll find insane armor sets naturally, and trust me, you'll be dripping with style. At the end of the day, gaming should be fun. You should play however you want. If mods enhance your experience, use them. If you prefer vanilla, that's great too. Just be careful not to overdo it. Don't turn Witcher 3 into a Frankenstein's monster of conflicting systems and broken immersion. Respect the game, enhance it, don't replace it. If you do use mods, back up your save file. Trust me on that one. Music is incredibly important to me. It shapes how I feel in a game. It pulls me deeper into the world, and Witcher 3's soundtrack is unforgettable. If you have played the game, I could play any region's theme right now and you'll instantly recognize it. Close your eyes, listen. The instruments, the vocals, the layering, it's all done with such care and attention. Every piece of music matches the moment perfectly. When you're in combat, the music is intense, driving, urgent. When you're exploring, it's atmospheric, immersive. When you're in cutscene, it's emotional and cinematic. The soundtrack doesn't just support the game, it elevates it. It makes you feel everything more deeply. Marcin, Nikolai and Percival, the composers behind the masterpiece, they didn't just write music, they wrote the soul of the continent. Even now, years later, I listen to Witcher 3's soundtrack while working, while relaxing, while gaming other titles. It's that good. Music in games is often underappreciated, but in Witcher 3, it's one of the core reasons the world feels so alive. Yeah, I still couldn't think anything major. Now, that doesn't mean the game is perfect. Nothing is. I'm sure there are things people don't like. Maybe you hate the game. Maybe you find their movement clunky. Maybe the inventory system annoys you. Maybe Roach, your horse, gets stuck on fences. But for me, the good so heavily outweighs the bad that I genuinely can't think of anything that bothers me enough to dwell on it. That said, let me try to fare and address some common complaints I've heard from other players. Some people say the combat is too simple, too repetitive. You attack, you dodge, you cast a sign, repeat. And they're not wrong. If you compare it to pure action games like Devil May Cry, Bayonetta or even Dark Souls, Witcher 3's combat is less mechanically complex. And there are no intricate combos, no frame perfect parries, no elaborate juggling mechanics. But here's the thing, Witcher 3 isn't trying to be Devil May Cry. It's an RPG. The combat serves the story, the world, the immersion. It's meant to make you feel like a Witcher, someone who prepares, adapts, and fights smartly, not flashy. For me, the combat is satisfying enough, especially when you factor in preparation, using the right oils, potions, bombs, and signs. That's where the depth is. If you want pure high-octane action, there are other games for that. But if you want to hunt monsters as a Witcher, this system works. Some players feel that Velen section of the game drags a bit. It's huge, swampy region with a lot of side content. If you're a completionist, you might spend 30 plus hours there before moving on. I didn't mind it, but I understand why some people find it slow. My advice, don't try to do everything in one region before moving on. Mix it up. Do some main quests, do some side quests, then move on to different area. Keep it varied. So yes, there are flaws, small ones, minor annoyances, but do they ruin the experience? Not even close. The storytelling, the world building, the characters, the atmosphere, the music, the sense of immersion, all of that is so strong, the rough edges fade into the background. I've played games with perfect combat and lifeless worlds. I've played games with flawless movement and boring stories. I'll take Witcher 3's rough edges and all over those any day. Because at the end of the day, a game isn't just mechanics, it's the experience. It's how it makes you feel. And Witcher 3, it makes me feel like I'm living in this world. So here we are, 2026, a decade after Witcher 3's first release date. And I'm still playing it, still discovering new things, still getting lost in the world. It's not just nostalgia, it's not just hype. It's because the game respects you as a player, it respects your time, it respects your intelligence. Every quest has a story, every character has a depth, every choice has weight. The world doesn't revolve around you, but it reacts to you. You're not this chosen one destined to save everything. You're just a Witcher trying to find someone you care about in a world falling apart. And somehow that makes it more powerful. This is why Witcher 3 still calls me back. Why it refuses to let me uninstall it. Why even after 200 plus hours, I'm excited to boot it up again tomorrow. If you haven't played it yet, do yourself a favor. Give it a real chance. Not 2 hours. Give it a 10. Give it 20. Let the world sink in. Let the stories unfold. And if you bounced off it the first time, like I did with Witcher 2, come back. Try again. You might be surprised, because some games you play and some games you live. The Witcher 3, you live it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the path.